let me go over real quick a couple of these fractures that we haven't gone over from page 403. What's a fracture that is a blow to one side that causes a fracture to the opposite side?
Blowout.
Contra coup.
Oh.
Good.
Contra
Contra coup. Blow to one side that causes a fracture to the other side is a contra coup. I know we have the late fort fracture, so you guys tell me what is a late fort fracture.
Bilateral horizontal fracture with axilla.
Okay, say that again, Carlos. Everybody can hear you.
Bilateral horizontal fracture of the maxilla.
Okay, very good. So it's a severe bilateral horizontal fracture of the maxilla. And another fracture that was on our quiz this morning. What is a fracture that involves the three processes of the zygomatic bone? Tripod, yes. Oh, and the last one that we didn't talk about, fracture to the floor of the orbit, where you could possibly have a detached retina. What do we call that? That's a blowout. Okay. So those are really the only four pathologies that you didn't study for last night that could potentially be on the test tomorrow. If you know those four fracture types, you good. The rest of the stuff that's on that second page, osteomyelitis, you guys know what that is by now, I hope, right? Okay.
Infection of the bone marrow.
TMJ syndrome is simple. That's if you have a problem with you have a clicking or noise or pain in your TMJ. And then sinusitis, if you have a back obstruction or something with mucus collection in the sinuses, that's sinusitis. So those are the only pathologies. If you study the hard, what I consider the hard pathologies, which you did last night, and you know those we just went over, you'll be fine for that. Okay, so let's find some more questions over here that we can talk about. Okay, if I'm doing an axiolateral oblique mandible and I want to see the body, how much head tilt would I have if I'm going to have a perpendicular central ray? 25, yes, good call on that. So let me repeat what I just said. If I'm doing axiolateral oblique mandible for the body, and I want to keep my central ray perpendicular, how much head tilt would I have? 25. And how much rotation would I have?
30.
30. Are we good on that?
Is that the one that's a combination?
That you can possibly use the combination. So what I always did in real life is I just angled 25 degrees to follow.
Yeah.
But if we kept our central ray perpendicular, we'd tilt the head 25.
And then what was the 30 degrees you said?
That's how much rotation. So that's what was on your quiz yesterday, the first four. Rotation, axiolateral oblique for the ramus, 0. General survey, 10 to 15. Body, 30. Mentum, 45. And then on top of that, if I want to use that perpendicular central ray, I would also have to tilt my head 25 degrees. So I'm going to rotate and tilt to get my head in the right position for those axiolateral obliques. Okay. How much angle, how much head rotation and angulation do we have for a modified law for the TMJs? 15. Okay, 15 rotation and 15 tilt. No, don't have any tilt on the modified law.
Tube angle.
Tube angle, but which direction was what I was getting?
Caudad.
Caudad. Okay, so for the modified law, 15 degree rotation, 15 degree caudad angle on that one. Just so you know, I'm looking at my old test, I'm skipping some of the questions I think are easy. For instance, there are a total of how many fontanelles on an infant? Didn't know that.
6.
6. Anterior, posterior, 2 mastoid, 2 sphenoid. But you guys will still want to study that stuff if you're struggling with that. Know your fontanelles, know your what they correlate to suture points, know your suture lines, how to label those. Why do we do a transoral waters projection? To demonstrate what? Sphenoid sinus, good. And when we do the transoral waters, do we use the, what positioning line? MML, good. Okay? So with that in mind, why do we do a trans-oral waters? That's the one where we're doing normal waters, just with a mouth open. So why do we do then a modified waters? What's that? That is using the LML, and we're looking at something else.
The other sinuses? Oh, no.
Orbits.
Oh, shit.
Closer. Modified water is for the orbits, and we use the LML. And again, it gives us a clear demonstration of the orbits, because the normal waters, we have too much elongation of the orbits. So don't get, talked about this at the beginning of this week, but I'll bet you forgot. Don't get the modified waters and the transoral waters confused, like I've had so many students in the past do, because they are two different shots. There's a normal waters, a modified waters for orbits, and a transoral waters for the sphenoid sinus.
And there's a waters for sinuses, too.
That's just the normal waters, yeah.
Okay, same.
There's actually a normal waters for the sinuses, facial nodes, and nasal nodes.
Okay, got it. Okay.
I know, that's a lot of stuff. All in one nice convenient chapter.
Convenient.
Easier.